What's up, everybody? Whew, man, I know you guys have all been waiting for it. The Philips HearLink 9040 review is here. Now, I'm going to tell you guys why I love this hearing aid so much and why I recommend it to, I'd say 90% of the patients that come to me for hearing aids. But you guys know me, I always give the good with the bad. And so with that being said, I'm also going to tell you what I hate about this hearing aid and why I actually chose the Jabra over the Philips for myself. And I'm going to be honest, guys, I haven't looked back. Now, for all you newcomers, welcome to the Hearing Club, where we talk about everything hearing aids. We reveal the truth and help you, the viewers, make informed decisions about your hearing health. Now, let's dive into one of the most advanced hearing instruments on the market and one of the first hearing aids ever to have artificial intelligence. I hope you guys are ready. Let's go. Now, one of the first things that I want to talk about, probably the most important and craziest fact about these Philips 9040s is these 9040s are the equivalent to the Oticon Real 1. Not the Real 2, not the Real 3, the Real 1. The 1 is the premium product, the 2 is the advanced, 3 is the not advanced. I like to call it the basic technology version. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, then watch the video. Stop spending thousands on hearing aids because you don't have to anymore. That video goes into great detail about what I'm talking about and how there's basically 5 different manufacturers that sell their hearing aids under all these different brand names, but they're all the same. Let's take WS Audiology. That brand makes Signia, True Hearing, Miracle Ear, the Costco Rexton hearing aid, and those are all the same. But the big difference is the price. If you get the Miracle Ear version, you're paying $11,000 to $12,000 for the premium hearing aid. If you get the Costco version, you're paying $1,500. That's one of the biggest details about this hearing aid that I wanted to talk about, is the fact that these are the equivalent to the Oticon Real 1. So if you like the way the Oticon Real 1 sounds like, or you've been wanting to try the Real 1, or you've already bought the Oticon Real 1 and you'd like to save yourself some money, don't spend $5,000 to $8,000 for those hearing aids. Go over to Costco and try the Philips 9040 because it is pretty much the same thing, but it's $1499.99. And I dare you to tell me you can hear a difference between those two hearing aids. They both have the same app, except the Oticon has like a couple other features that are really useless in my opinion. They have the same fitting software. They have the same advanced features. They have the same amount of channels. Well, okay, the Oticon Real 2 and 3, the lesser technology levels, they don't have as many channels, but the Oticon Real 1 and the Philips 9040 both have 24 fitting bands and 64 channels. The only difference that I could find is the way that the artificial intelligence works. The Oticon AI uses something called the deep neural network, and the Philips AI uses something called SoundMap 2, which is what we're going to talk about when we cover the AI. So where does this all go? Where am I going with all this? Sometimes I get on a rant and I have to stop myself and realize, okay, get back on track, Brian. My point is, I love the cost. These Philips hearing aids are the cheapest, the absolute hands down cheapest prescription premium hearing aid you'll find anywhere. They're cheaper than some of these over-the-counter hearing aids. I saw, since I've been doing a bunch of research on over-the-counter hearing aids, what they're about, you see me making videos on them, there's over-the-counter hearing aids, folks, at $2,700. $2,700 for an over-the-counter hearing aid. So that is what I love about the Philips 9040, the Jabra Enhanced Pro 10. The price is insane. $1499.99, and you've got yourself a premium quality, premium technology prescription hearing aid. Now, one thing to keep in mind, folks, is the Philips hearing aid is a Costco exclusive. You have to be a member. That's going to run you a minimum of $60 a year or $5 a month. But you also get the Costco benefits. Now, I'm going to make a separate video on all the Costco benefits and go into detail about these, but really quick, what you get with the Costco benefits for $60 a year is 3-year warranty, 2-year loss and damage protection. If the dog eats the hearing aid, digests it, eats it again, and then it's no longer working, they'll replace it. You also get loaners when you're waiting for your hearing aids to be replaced, a 6-month trial, not 30 days. So if you don't like the hearing aids, you want your money back, you get 100% of your money back, or you can exchange it for a different model, 6 months. Plus, something unheard of, when your warranty gets close to the end date, they proactively call you and tell you the hearing aids are getting close to the warranty. Let's send them out and see if they need to be repaired or replaced. All right, guys, so I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you guys got anything from this video and you found it even the tiniest bit useful, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment below, ask me some questions, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button so that you guys can see more Hearing Club videos, and it helps me out big time. All right, that's it. Back to the video. We know that the price is low. We know that they're made by the same manufacturer of the Oticon hearing aids. Now, let's talk about the manufacturer, Demant. Demant makes Philips, Oticon, and Bernafon. Big manufacturer. They've been around forever. One of the biggest manufacturers and oldest in the world. Now, I know a lot of you folks, and it's not your fault. This is what you've been taught, or this is what people have led you to believe. You guys are all interested in channels. I can't tell you how many times somebody's walked up to the counter and said, how many channels do these hearing aids have? I'm gonna do a separate video for this, so I will just quickly tell you guys, the Philips hearing aids have 64 channels. Everybody gets stuck on how many channels does this have, how many channels does that have, and the hearing aid with the most channels is the best hearing aid. First of all, no, that is incorrect. The hearing aid that sounds the best and the hearing aid that enables you to understand folks the best is the best hearing aid. The hearing aid that has all the features that accommodate you and has the best fit for you and is the most comfortable is the best hearing aid. The second thing I want to mention, and again, we're going to cover this in another video, is there's a difference between how many processing channels the hearing aid has and how many fitting bands or adjustment channels the hearing aid has. The fitting bands is how many groups of frequencies we as the hearing aid fitter are able to adjust to accommodate your unique hearing loss. The processing channels are the amount of channels that are in the background that are used for all of the advanced features for the hearing aids. Now, I can tell you that the Philips hearing aids have 24 adjustment channels or fitting bands. These hearing aids have the most fitting bands I've ever seen, which is 24. Some hearing aid manufacturers will advertise or market that their hearing aids have over 100 channels or something crazy like that. And what they're doing is they're taking the amount of channels the hearing aid has, like 64, and they're multiplying it by the amount of programs the hearing aid could have, like 3 programs, 64 channels. That's 192 channels in total. And that's just not the way it works. Hey, look at me. I'm the best hearing aid. I have 192 channels. Huh, what are you talking about? That's ridiculous. No, I have 3 programs and 64 channels. 3 times 64 is 192. Here we go again. Dude, that is not how this works. Oh man. All right, so how about we talk about something really important? How do they look? No, I'm just kidding. That's actually not really important, but we will talk about it anyway because I do care how things look. I don't want my stuff looking big and goofy and bulky, and don't want things that make me look old. Actually, I don't care how old I look. Okay, yeah, I do. Anyway, back to the point. How do these hearing aids look? They look fine. You know, they're a little bit bigger. I like my hearing aids with straight, hard lines, like the Jabras and the Philips. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I do like the way they look. One thing I don't like about all of the hearing aids that we have right now is you can't get any fun colors. You can't get any hot pink or hot green or a neon blue. Why? You guys got to make hearing aids look cool. You know, you can get custom molds with sparkles. You can get custom molds with glitter, swirls, glow in the dark colors. Give us some glow in the dark hearing aids. Have fun with them. You know, make them fun. Stop giving us 3 different colors, silver, gray, or brown, and skin tone. Ugh. All right, now we are still on the topic of things that I like about the Philips. Great things about the Philips. One of those things is the sound quality. When I take my jobbers out and I put these hearing aids in, they sound, God, I want to say they sound more natural. For those of you who already wear hearing aids, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're shopping for hearing aids, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about, but they just don't sound as artificial. And that was just my first impression, okay? I love my jobber hearing aids. I could have returned my jobber hearing aids and went with Philips if I wanted to, but I didn't, okay? And we'll talk about why I didn't later in the video. Judging the hearing aids based solely on sound quality, a 1 to 10, I would give these a 10. I think they sound so good. And I would give my Jabras a 9.5. Do you see what I'm saying? If they sound better, it's only by a little bit. But that is a big deal because the Jabras sound great. If you haven't tried the Philips hearing aids, go try them. They sound really, really good. What I've heard a lot from the patients, they hear too much with the Philips hearing aids. They sound very natural, but they let you hear a lot of sounds. From what the patients tell me, they hear more sounds with the Philips. But there's still reasons that we'll talk about a little bit later. I'm just gonna say it now, the app. They don't have a good app. There, I said it. And since we're still talking about sound quality, let's talk about streaming sound quality. Holy crap, these things almost sound as good as the Jabra Enhance Plus over-the-counter hearing aids when it comes to streaming. The Jabra OTC Enhance Plus hearing aids have the best streaming quality I've ever heard, but the Philips 9040 is a very close second. These hearing aids have the best streaming sound quality I've ever heard in a prescription hearing aid. But remember, just because they sound great for me does not mean they're gonna sound great for you. There is no best hearing aid. It is all subjective, folks. It is all subjective. The Jabras might be rated #1 according to Forbes and everywhere else, but that doesn't mean they're the best hearing aid for everybody. All right, guys, once upon a time, there's this guy named Brian. He had a hearing aid channel on YouTube called The Hearing Club, and he reviewed a pair of hearing aids and didn't go over Bluetooth and streaming. What a knucklehead. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna cover the Bluetooth. The Philips HearLink 9040s have Bluetooth just like every other hearing aid on the planet, and that's why, guys, I didn't cover the Bluetooth with the Jabras, because I thought everybody knew. So pretty much every prescription hearing aid you're going to get now has Bluetooth. These are a MiFi hearing aid, just like the Jabras, just like the Rextons. So if you have an iPhone, they connect through your accessibility menu, and if you have a Android, they connect using the app that you download. Okay, it's called the HearLink 2 app. These hearing aids will connect to both Android and iPhone. But like most other hearing aids, they will only stream on Androids if it's a newer Android. But I see patients every single day from all walks of life with all different types of phones. And I will tell you this, folks, and this goes for all hearing aids. As long as it's not a flip phone, and you can access the internet, the app is probably going to work. You should be okay. The problem is streaming. Not all phones will stream with these hearing aids. You could stream on pretty much any iPhone, but when it comes to Androids, you need a much newer, nicer Android. And these hearing aids have a compatibility list online, and I'm gonna put that in the description so that you can check and make sure your phone will stream with these hearing aids. And they seem so far to have a very reliable, stable Bluetooth connection with the phones. Now there's also a couple really, really cool features that you can use if you have an iPhone. The Android, not so much, but if you have an iPhone, you can use your phone as a portable mic. There's a built-in tinnitus program, so instead of hearing your tinnitus ringing in your ears, you can actually have the phone play, rain noises or white noises. I think you're just swapping out one noise for another, so I don't really like it. But you know, some people it's helpful. And you can also use hands-free options that the Philips have. So if you have an iPhone and somebody calls you, you don't even have to take your phone out of your pocket. You can answer the phone by pressing the button. You can use the microphone from the hearing aids instead of the phone. But pretty much all prescription hearing aids have these options if you have an iPhone. And I'm going to make a separate video showing you all the cool things that you can do with the iPhone and how to get everything working. But I don't want to make this video an hour long, so that's going to be in a separate video. I'm going to call it something like, you know, great hearing aid features that you can only use with the iPhone. So be on the lookout for that video if you have an iPhone, or if you're considering getting an iPhone so that you can use these awesome hearing aid features. Now I want to talk about hearing aid programs. All prescription hearing aids have different programs that you can use. And if you want to get a more detailed look at what programs do, how they work, then check out my video about hearing aid programs. And it explains what they're used for, how to get them installed, and what you can do with them. And Philips has programs just like all of the other prescription hearing aids. Now with the Philips hearing aids, you can have 3 additional programs other than the standard default program called the general program. And some of my favorites are the speech and noise program, the hi-fi music, and the classroom program. Again, for a more detailed breakdown of how these work, check out my program video, but just a quick rundown. Speech and noise would be a program used for when you're trying to listen to somebody speaking, when there's a lot of background noise, so that the hearing aids will focus on sounds that are in front of you while trying to minimize the background noise that's present. Classroom mode optimizes the hearing aids for a classroom type setting where you have a room full of people and one person speaking. And then the hi-fi music mode is probably one of the best in class music programs that I've seen in a hearing aid. Philips spent a lot of time on optimizing this mode for listening to music. It's definitely a program worth trying if you are a music lover like myself. And you could switch through these different programs 2 different ways. You can either use the buttons on the hearing aid, or you can use the app. And the app is going to be much easier because it will show you which program you're in. If you decide to use the hearing aid buttons to switch programs, when you change programs, you're going to either hear 1 beep, 2 beeps, 3 beeps, or 4 beeps. And 1 beep means you're in the first program, 2 beeps means you're in the second program, etc. Now let's talk about the domes. The domes with the Philips are really cool and they are very innovative. So there's 2 hearing aid brands that decided to go off the rails with the domes. They wanted to do their own thing and make it different than everybody else's, and they just had to make them, well, different. Philips and Rexton. Rexton went completely off the rails and they went with these weird, like, sleeves. I don't know. Philips decided to do something different, and they started this with their Philips HearLink 9030s. So if you have the Philips HearLink 9030s or the Oticon More 1, 2, or 3s, then you've already experienced these new type of domes. Let me explain how they work. For slight to moderate hearing loss, the preferred choice of dome is oftentimes an open dome. And this is because hearing aid users like their sound openness. They don't like occlusion. Occlusion makes you sound like your ears are blocked up. You can hear your own voice more. It sounds like an echo. It's terrible. The issue with open domes is that their venting holes are oversized for many fitting situations to compensate for the uncertainty of the acoustical effect of the dome in individual ear canals. In the new Philips HearLink, the traditional open dome with flat venting holes is replaced with a new open-based dome with sound tunnels. The flat venting holes are replaced with sound tunnels, which are 3D structures consisting of a floor, a ceiling, and walls. When open-based domes are inserted into the ear canal, it will be squeezed in an unpredictable manner like any other dome. But the 3D structure of the sound tunnels are going to ensure that the shape and the size of the venting holes remain more stable and more predictable. The better predictability of the acoustical coupling of the open-based dome has basically allowed engineers to reduce the acoustical venting area of the open-based dome by 70% compared to the previous open dome, and achieve the same sound openness and absence of occlusion. All right, now the moment you guys have all been waiting for. Probably the coolest, most amazing thing about these hearing aids, other than their great sound quality, is the artificial intelligence. Do you guys even know what artificial intelligence is? It is crazy. Let me show you what I mean. Artificial intelligence is the new technology that's popping up everywhere. You're going to see it everywhere. It gives the hearing aids the ability to learn and adapt and process information way quicker. If you guys want to see artificial intelligence in action, check this out. I have a program called Midjourney installed on my phone, and I'm going to tell my phone to draw me a picture of a dinosaur and a little boy playing in his room, jumping on the bed, having fun. And the artificial intelligence will actually create this image right before my eyes. It is insane. And now hearing aids are using artificial intelligence. In the hearing aids in the 9040s, it's using AI to help clean out background noise and reduce unwanted noises like wind noise, handling noise, and loud sudden sounds. That is the power of artificial intelligence. It is insane, and they have that artificial intelligence in the hearing aids. I'm not saying that the hearing aids can draw you really cool pictures. They cannot. Well, not yet anyway. AI is introduced to the noise reduction of Sound Map 2 to improve the clarity of speech in noisy environments, which is what everybody wants and what all hearing aids try to do. But instead of relying on engineers' knowledge and rules, the new artificial intelligence noise reduction is trained and has learned how to make speech clear in noise. During the training, the AI-NR, or artificial noise reduction, is fed with speech and noise samples, which are then processed, and the result is compared to a benchmark consisting of speech that is perfectly cleaned of noise. The difference between the benchmark and the processed sound is then fed back to the AI-NR to let it know how well it's performing. Now, this cycle is then repeated hundreds and thousands of times with different speech and noise samples. And each iteration is an opportunity for the AI-NR to learn from its own mistakes. Now, with the addition of the artificial intelligence, the new artificial intelligence noise reduction not only has the capacity to process speech in 24 different individual frequency bands, but also to coordinate its effect between frequency bands, thereby reducing sound artifacts and improving its efficiency to remove noise from speech. One of the reasons hearing aids don't have 300, 400, 500 different channels is because each channel adds complexity to the processing, and all this processing power would cause a delay in the sound. This is where artificial intelligence can really change the game, and I can't wait to see what's in the future of hearing aids with artificial intelligence. So you folks might be wondering, well, what's the difference between the older 9030s and the newer Philips 9040s that we're reviewing in this video? And I'm going to be honest, not a whole lot. The AI technology was first introduced with the 9030s. The new open-based domes were first introduced with the 9030s. So those two things carried over to the 9040s. What is new to the 9040s is the new system called Sound Protect. That is exclusive and new to the 9040s. The Sound Protect is a new system for reducing unwanted noise, and that includes wind noise, handling noise, which is a new one, and transient sounds. And transient sounds might be more commonly referred to as impulse noise or loud sudden sounds. And as you all know, loud sudden sounds can really disrupt your listening experience. If somebody slams the door, or when somebody drops the keys on the table, or somebody's banging around a bunch of noisy dishes, that can be very loud and piercing to the user. Now, the Philips 9030s did have systems for these, but now with the 9040s, it is updated and it's now called Sound Protect. And there's two different options that are seen in the fitting software of the 9040s that were not in the 9030s fitting software. The one for the noise reduction is called Sound Protect Transient Noise Reduction. And instead of just having a couple of options, we now have 6 options: off, low, medium, high, very high, and maximum. So we have a lot more options as a hearing aid fitter to change the amount of transient noise reduction or impulse noise reduction. And instead of the standard wind noise reduction, it is now called Sound Protect Wind Noise Management. These are the two differences, or the two updates to the 9040s. And this is the first set of hearing aids to actually acknowledge handling noise, like when you brush your hands over the microphones, or when you take your glasses or sunglasses on or off, or when you brush your hair over your ear or out of your eyes, you always hear this scratching noise. And normally that is taken care of with the wind noise reduction because it is the same type of noise. But with the Philips hearing aids, they now acknowledge these as two separate noises. You've got your wind noise and your handling noise. And they spent a lot of time on increasing or updating these systems to reduce those noises. So basically with the new Sound Protect system, it's actually using the artificial intelligence to reduce unwanted sudden noises, the transient noise, and the handling and wind noise. And don't worry, when you first get your hearing aids fitted, the default option is on. So the wind noise and handling noise reduction is automatically going to be turned on. So you don't have to worry about telling your fitter you want this on. It's always going to be on. And for the Sound Protect transient noise reduction, its default setting is going to be on the medium option. But if loud sudden sounds are still bothering you, we can turn it on high, very high, or maximum for maximum effect. Just let your fitter know. All right, now we get to talk about my favorite subject, and that is the wax filters. Yay. All right, guys, this is going to be short. They have probably the easiest wax filters to change. I call them the turtle shells. You just pull one of the tabs out, poke the empty side into your old filter, pull it out, flip it over, poke the new one in. It could not be easier. Pretty much every prescription hearing aid has an easier wax filter system than the Phonak and KS9 and KS10 hearing aids. Those things with the little round disc were a nightmare. So that's just something you don't have to worry about with the Philips. So we've talked about all these great things with the Philips hearing aids, and it was fun. It was fun while it lasted, but now we got to talk about the not so great thing. So first on the list, the app. Oh, okay. Anyway, so I don't know if it's Oticon, I don't know if it's Philips, but somebody dropped the ball on this feature. The app is lacking. This is probably the worst hearing aid app I've seen with prescription hearing aid. That's it. That is it. Folks, I know you've been waiting for this part of the review, but this is why I had to choose Jabra. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I was stuck with Jabra. Jabra's amazing. I love the hearing aids. So the Philips app, there's just no options. You can literally make 2 changes to your hearing aids with the app. That's it. I'm not kidding. You can change the volume and you can change the programs. Oh, you can 2.5 things that you can change. And you can also use the equalizer for streaming. Oh, that's it. That's all you can do. This drives me crazy. Why would, if they had, listen to this, and if you take nothing else from this video, folks, take this with you. If Philips had a good app, they don't even have to have the best app, just a good app, I would recommend them to 100% of my patients. That's it. That's it. But they don't. The app is, it's terrible. Now, there's some people, I went on to a hearing aid forum because there were people asking, which one should I get? Should I go with Jabra or should I go with Philips or should I go with Rexton? And they said the Philips were really nice, the Rexton were really nice, the Jabra were really nice. And I went on there and I told the person, I said, listen, I work over there. I fit Philips, Jabra, and Rexton hearing aids. I have one question for you. Do you plan on, or would you like the ability to adjust your own hearing aids and make changes to your hearing aids? Do you want control of your hearing aids? Or is that something that you don't really need? Those are the questions I asked the person. And the reason I asked them is because if you plan on using an app, if you want to be able to make changes to your hearing aids, if you want to be able to adjust your hearing aids and basically have a hearing aid fitter in your pocket, then you want the Jabra, because the Philips don't allow you to do that. With the Philips app, all you can do is change the volume and change programs. And that's my rant, guys. The Philips app doesn't have very many options at all. And if it did, then I would recommend these hearing aids to everybody. And there's people that argue with me and say that the app is overrated. Nobody uses the app. The app doesn't even do anything. When you change things in the app, you can't even tell that you're making changes in the hearing aid. They're so subtle. The app is overrated. That is not true, guys. The app is awesome. It's very, very useful. You can do so much with the app, but not with the Philips hearing aids. So Philips, Oticon, Demont, if you're out there, if you're listening, you have one of the best hearing aids on the market right now, and they would probably be number one if they just had a good or decent app. So start working on that, please. Now, the app may not be up to par with any of the other apps I've seen, but it does do the basics. It does allow you to change the programs. It does allow you to change the volume of the hearing aids, and it has a equalizer, but only for streaming. And like other hearing aid apps, it also lets you locate the hearing aids. If your phone's within range of the hearing aids, you can see where they are on the map, again, as long as they're in range. And if they're out of range, let's say you left them at the grocery store and you're at home and you're wondering where the heck is my hearing aid, it will show you the last known location of the hearing aid when it was last hooked up to your phone. If you had your phone and your hearing aids at the store, you left your hearing aid at the store and you drive home, it will show the location of your hearing aids being at the store, because that is where the hearing aids were last connected to the phone. And once you get within range of the hearing aid, let's say it's still powered on, you still have battery, you go back to the store looking for it. As soon as the hearing aid gets in range of the phone, it will show you the strength of the signal. And as you get closer to the hearing aid, your signal strength will go up, and hopefully you can use that to locate the hearing aid. So the app does have some useful features. Don't get me wrong. It is just not up to par with apps like the Jabra app. Now, I do want to give Philips credit for this feature, and this is part of the app. Most of your prescription hearing aids have a remote appointment or virtual appointment option. If you need an appointment and you are stuck in bed, or you can't make it to the office, or maybe you live 2 hours away, but you really need an adjustment, maybe you need your hearing aids turned up, you would like to add programs to your hearing aids because you saw one of the Hearing Club's awesome videos, you can actually set up a remote appointment. You'll see us on the other side on your phone, and you can talk to us and we can make adjustments while you're at home and we're at the office. And Philips makes this very, very easy. It's really nice and smooth. It's super easy to get connected and super easy for us to make these adjustments and save everything over the internet without you even stepping foot in the office. So I just want to quickly let you guys know, not all brands make it this easy and this nice for virtual appointments. Good job, Philips. But work on the rest of the app, please. Thank you. In all my reviews, I like to do a durability overview, and these are just like all the other prescription hearing aids. They have an IP68 rating, which is very, very good, and it's the highest in the industry. So they are dust proof, and they could survive being submerged in water for a non-specified amount of time. So if you take these in the shower on accident, you'll probably be okay. Don't put it to the test, but you'll probably be okay. Now, the other thing that I kind of don't care for about these hearing aids, and I'm really trying, guys, there's really only one thing I don't like about them, but I figured I'll throw this in there too. The battery life. The battery life is not up to par with the Jabra and Rexton hearing aids. The Rexton hearing aids, you can get like 30 plus hours on a single charge. Now, this all depends on your hearing loss, how loud you have the hearing aids, etc. I'm not going to give you guys an exact amount of hours that these last, but they are just not up to par with the Jabra or the Rexton. They don't last as long for sure. And we've had a couple sets of these Philips where they already have to have the battery replaced, and they haven't been out that long. But the batteries being replaced is also kind of a good thing about these hearing aids. And these are the only hearing aids I've ever seen have this ability. When we hook them up, like if you come in for an adjustment or you're having issues or whatever the case may be, as soon as we hook these up to the fitting software on our computer, we'll get a notification saying, hey, these batteries aren't lasting like they used to. Take them from the patient and send them to the manufacturer, and we'll put new batteries in there for them. I give them a big thumbs up for that. Good job, Philips. You're not hiding the fact that these batteries don't last forever, and when they need to be replaced, we are proactive about it. That is awesome. And probably the last bad thing about these hearing aids, and again, these aren't like super bad, just kind of annoyances that I have. When you buy a Rexton hearing aid, you get both types of chargers. They don't charge you any extra for that. You get both types. The standard charger that has to remain plugged in so you can leave that one at home, and they give you the portable charger or the travel charger that has a built-in battery in the charging case. When you unplug that charger, you can still charge your hearing aids while the case is unplugged because it has a built-in battery, just like a lot of your wireless earbuds. So the Rexton gives you both types, and the Jabra hearing aids now come with the premium charger, the portable charger with the built-in battery. And Philips, you still just get the standard desktop charger. They're the only ones at Costco where you don't actually get the nice charger automatically. That is one little gripe. Again, I'm digging for bad things about these hearing aids. These hearing aids are awesome. Go try out a pair. All right, folks, so that's gonna do it for the video. Again, I hope you guys got something out of it. If you did, don't forget, like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, ask questions. I just want to apologize that it took so long for me to get this video out. I know a lot of you have been waiting. You've been emailing me, Brian, when's the video coming out? Are you done with the video? Guys, remember, I have a full-time job and I am trying to build up this YouTube channel so that I can not work full-time, and I would just want to work part-time so I could spend the rest of my time playing with my babies. And I want to work on more videos. And when I'm working this full-time job, it is so hard for me to get these videos done. If it's a longer video, like one of these reviews, it takes a while. So subscribe to the channel. Every subscription I get, every time one of you guys watches this video, it gets me one step closer to being a full-time YouTuber, which would be my dream job. And if you guys want to support the channel even more and get me a little bit closer to my dream, send payments to paypal.me/hearingclub, and I will make all the videos. So thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to check out the other reviews. So far, I've got a couple over-the-counter hearing aid reviews. If you guys want to see what those are like, if you're wondering what the heck, how do you even use an over-the-counter hearing aid? Do they use your hearing loss, or are they just basic amplifiers? Well, if you want to find out, just check out this video right here and learn all about over-the-counter hearing aids. Bye, guys.